I've said a lot, and I haven't even introduced myself. My name is Desiree Toto. I am the Chief Product and Technology Officer here at Ansira. And as Paul had mentioned yesterday, we've been through a lot of exciting changes, and a lot of those changes are around the platform and technology. So I'm going to share a little bit about our journey of where we've been and where we're going so you can see and understand what we're all excited about from our technology. So we're all here to talk about the power of a unified platform. So I'm really excited that we actually started the session with Tiffany, because a lot of what she said actually resonated with me on how we approached our journey on getting to creating the unified platform. So I'm going to just kind of push these forward. So Ansira is bringing together, as Paul had mentioned, 3 companies. And these 3 companies have a lot of strengths. They go across more than 10 plus industries. Think about the expertise there of all of Ansira, Brand Muscle, Sprout Loud. They all have their strengths in their platform as well. So we want to make sure that we're bringing those core features that you know and love into our next-gen platform. So what we did and how we approached that was we put on our beginner mindset hat and said, okay, we cannot go in thinking that we're experts. We have to learn from each other and understand what is it that our clients need, because that's, remember, did anyone read the book last night? I was up all night. No? Okay. Well, like the customer experience gap, right? She talked about that. And I was like, oh, that's so on point for what we've been going through. So we actually, right after the announcement, brought all of our product and technology teams together. And we said, check your bias at the door. We're going to do lunch and learns. And I want you to share what makes you so excited about your technology and what your clients are excited about. And let's also talk about strengths and weaknesses, because we've all sat across the table competitively, so we're pretty much aware of the strengths and weaknesses. So let's just have an open, unbiased conversation. So we had multiple hours of lunch and learns, demoing the platforms. And we also brought in a third party to help provide us with guidance on how we should do it. A non-biased third party, external, saying, all right, we understand the technology, we understand what you're trying to do, here's how you can bring it together. So all of that information came into how we were going to approach our journey, because we want to make sure that the next-gen platform is bringing forth those strengths, those core capabilities that you know and love. And so we all had our beginner mindset head on, and we wanted to make sure we were going to create the best experience possible. So that's kind of how we approached it. Now, we know what we want to put in next gen, right? And we know, and we're starting to accelerate that innovation. But we have to be thoughtful in our approach in how we're going to be migrating and upgrading our clients to this next gen platform. And so what we did was we looked at our client base and understand what their needs were. And we kind of put them in different phases. And we worked with our client teams. We've talked to our clients. And that's kind of how we did it, a very thoughtful approach. So as we start developing and we get new features and core things that you know and love, we'll move our clients into the path of upgrade. And so we're really thoughtful in that approach because, again, going back to Tiffany, we want to make sure that the client experience is a positive one, from onboarding to using it for not only you, but also your users and your partners. And so that is really our approach in how we're going to upgrade all of our clients to the next-gen platform. And I'm going to talk more about that as we go through the slides. But also, bringing these teams together allows us to accelerate our innovation, because there's a lot of things that the different organizations were working on that were really exciting. And they might have been looking at it through their given industry at that time. So a great example on the Brand Muscle side was that they had this pilot called Palette. It's now called Design Builder. But Palette was geared towards the beverage alcohol clients for a specific use case because they were having problems with their users using third-party tools that weren't allowing them to be compliant with their brand. And so they designed Palette to help with that. And part of our lunch and learns when we went into that, we're like, oh, you know what? that would also solve this other problem for this other industry. And so that opened us up into being able to not only think about innovation on an industry level, but how do we then take that innovation and apply it to multiple industries? So it's the multiplier that is really going to accelerate our innovation. So we do have, ooh, I went too far, sorry. All right, so innovation framework, I talked actually a lot about it already, but I'm gonna kind of drill into some core components on how we're approaching our innovation framework. So we have continued feedback loops. So this is through events like this. We have our NPS scores. We have our surveys that we send out to our clients, our client teams, our QBRs. We're constantly getting feedback and bringing it into our development process and checking ourselves to make sure that we're on the right path forward, right? We want to be nimble, we want to be agile, and making sure that if we need to make changes, we can, but we need the right information. We can't infer, we need direct. And then insights. So not only do we want to hear from our clients and hear from our internal teams, we want to look externally to understand where's the market going, and that's what we're sharing with you later on with the Forrester research, right? Like we want to be able to have third parties provide us guidance on where's the direction of the industry, how do we need to evolve our platform to meet those needs. And then we also do annual planning. So we want to make sure we get everyone in the room and say, hey, here's the funnel of information that we just went through. How do we synthesize this? How do we make sure that we're going to deliver this? How are we going to resource plan this? And that's what we all get together and we make sure that we're sharing that information across the entire team, as well as with our executives and other leaders within our organization. And then finally, we get into implementation. But once it gets implemented, it doesn't mean it's done, right? Now it goes back into the feedback loop, right? So we just implemented something. Do people like it? Do we need to make any changes? How do we need to evolve and nurture that? So that's the complete loop on how we're focusing on innovation here at Ansira. One thing that we did start, we have our customer advisory boards in the past, we have our roundtables, but one of the things we started specifically around making sure we met the target for next gen was our innovation group. So this was a new initiative we kicked off specifically for next gen to make sure we got it right. And this innovation group was led by our user experience, our head of user experience, to really understand what motivators and what the needs are of our clients. And these were in-depth 60-minute meetings to gather that information. And we actually segmented out our groups. So one thing, having 3 companies come together, we had a group called movers. They were moving across the different platforms. Why? Why did they make those moves? What were they trying to do? And then we had others that were what we call segmenters, right? They might have some point solutions here and there, but they don't have the holistic thing yet. Why are they doing it that? Didn't they listen to Tiffany? You don't want to have 1,000 platforms. You want one that does it all for you. Ansira, my tab's always open. So that's the information that we want to make sure that we are gathering to make the right decisions. So I wanted to share a little bit about what those insights were from all of you. Clients want solutions that can scale or adapt to growing needs, creating opportunities to innovate. And we believe that too at Ansira. We want to build a culture of curiosity. We want to make sure that we're constantly moving the channel forward, not being told what should we be doing. We want to say, hey, here's the direction of the channel and here's why you want to get on board with doing this. And that's how we're looking at it. That's why we're bringing all that information in from Forrester. We want to lead and help guide you so you don't have to worry about stagnant growth because we have the next thing that you need to be implementing. And we also know that clients value strategic input, right? That's another thing that you all had mentioned, that, how do you keep your business goals aligned? You struggle with that. Think about that diverse ecosystem that you're working with, right? There's so many users, so many partners. So having a strategic team and a platform that can enable that will really be able to meet those goals. So that's why we work a lot with our service teams, to be able to hear and understand on the front line, all right, where can we improve in our platform? How can we make this easier? What do you guys need to be able to help grow your clients? And then finally, clients value solutions that work seamlessly with their own tools. So again, Tiffany was a great setup for me. So, everyone has their own internal tech stack, right? Their IT teams are like, this is our CRM, this is that. We understand that, and we understand that you have an ecosystem that you need to plug into through your own tech stack, and we want to make sure that that's frictionless. And that's why we're partnering with the likes of Salesforce to make sure that we're able to make all that connectivity to make your lives easier and integrated. So Ansira is really focusing on some core solutions. So Ansira Create, access to brand compliant assets for partners to leverage at the local level. Ansira Attract, enable partners to activate brand assets and attract new customers. Ansira Connect, this is the one-to-one personalization to be able to drive loyalty and conversions. And then Ansira Incent, administer funds to be able to incentivize your users. We're really looking at how do we grow that so we can get more different currencies into our platform, because we know there's rebates, rewards, so many different flavors out there. And then finally, AnsiraX. That is our X factor. It's our digital consultancy practice that provides expertise and customization for capabilities for clients and enhancing Ansira's platform with CRM, loyalty, and media practices. So big things are happening. And so I'm going to start sharing with you now a little sneak peek into what we've been working on. So our roadmap themes have been kind of our guiding principles of where we're going. So we want to look at how AI can really improve tasks, right? Not replace jobs, but tasks and how we can automate things. So we are really focusing on infusing the platform with AI to make sure we can automate workflows. So we're always thinking during our development process, like, all right, they just went and downloaded that into an Excel spreadsheet and uploaded it. Why do we want to do that? We want to change that. We want to activate the local ecosystem. So we're expanding our social media offering, our websites technology, to be able to accelerate at the local level. And then I mentioned the incentives expansion. There's a broad range of ways that we can incentivize our partners and users, and there's different currencies to make that happen. So we want to continue to expand that to meet the multiple needs that our clients have. And then finally, this is kind of like table stakes. We want to make sure that we have reporting and insights in the platform. So you have your reporting center right there where you can go and look at how you're performing. You also have in the moment reporting as well, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the difference there. But we're using AI to make sure that our reporting is providing you with not only insights, but recommendations. So the power of the platform for each of you might be a little bit different, because for some of you coming into this, you might be like, oh, that's what I've always known and loved, but then you're going to get some new things. So depending on what platform you are on, your experience about new versus what you loved is going to be very different. So for folks that are on legacy Ansira platforms, you're going to have a unified experience, more personalization, intelligent automation, scalable local activation, as well as a consolidated reporting center. For Sprout Loud, as we move on, again, phased approach here, will be global capabilities, streamlined user experiences, innovative design tools, comprehensive incentives, as well as effortless campaign execution. And then Brand Muscle, enhanced global capabilities, streamlining asset management, and comprehensive incentives. And then the beverage and alcohol folks, we have an integrated future-ready platform, enhanced asset management, targeted campaign execution, localized and exclusive tools, and actionable dashboards and insights. So here's a little sneak peek of our roadmap. So we've been really working hard on making sure we had a distinctive plan to be thoughtful in how we're moving our clients over. So you can see here, we have our different solution groups, as well as there's work that we've already been completed and work in development now. So we got right to it after we had all those lunch and learns. We're like, what do we have to do now? Let's go. And we're going to continue to evolve this roadmap on a quarterly basis. So we'll share this with our teams and then transparently, you'll have access to it as well through your client development teams. So I'm not going to go into each one because I have slides later on to go through it. So this is our Ansira reporting center, and this is a core of our platform. So our core, as we talk it, is like everything that makes the platform happen. So this is where issues get resolved, such as knowledge base, live chat, ticketing systems, et cetera. So this is kind of like how everything works in the platform and making sure you have your core capabilities. But we also include in that our reporting center, and we're providing visual dashboards summarizing key metrics for each module, so you can go to one place and see it all. So for some of you, you're like, I have this already. For some of you, like, this is net new. This is great. So we're really looking at how we're going to make sure that we have a out-of-the-box reporting for all of our modules. And our team's been actually working and enhancing our reporting center. Ansira Create. So this is actually a highlight of our new design builder. So for some of you might have heard it was during our pilot, it was called Palette. That was a tongue twister. But this is really using AI to build templates and making sure that the AI can then hold together the compliance that is needed for brands. So allow the users, the partners to create really creative solutions, but keep it within the terms of the brand's compliance. And so we're really excited about this, and it's been launched, and we're rolling out more capabilities as we go. For anyone I don't think I mentioned, but we actually have a demo station out in the front if you want to learn more about what NextGen is and see some of these things in action. See Adam, he'll be out there and be happy to give you a demo of everything. And this is something I get really excited when folks at Ansira send me things that they create in our technology, because then that means I know that they're excited. One of our Ansirans created this really quickly for a meeting with Old Smoky. And they're like, look how easy this was. I created this on the fly. It went over really well. And I was like, oh, this is great. Like seeing people using products and get excited about it makes me happy. And that's why I want to make sure that the products that we're building makes our clients and users happy as well. So this is more of like me geeking out on technology that we created that people are excited about. Ansira Incent, this is our new rewards platform. So we're looking to expand our currencies into points-based rewards, and we're also looking at rebates as well. And so this is something that's going to be available in the upcoming months. So we're really excited about this, bringing it all together. So we have points allocation, claims forms with robust logic, reward redemption through catalog merchandises, travel e-gifts, and then management of 1099s and global tax processing. So you can see here what they're highlighting is right now it's showing what I call in the moment reporting. So sometimes you want to be able to see some of the information while you're taking action. So we want to make sure we're not taking that away and having you to jump to the reporting center. If you need it in that moment, we want to make sure we have that information for you and have it be transparent. So the next component of Ansira Incent is, again, AI. We actually took a step back and saying, AI can solve for auditing and claims. We can use AI to make sure that we can make this process better. So we want to utilize AI and machine learning to enhance the claims and pre-approval process through the user experience. We want to make sure that the AI is extracting that information that the users upload and then autofill the information. Now we have all that data to be able to build our machine learning. We're able to create scores to be able to understand like a confidence score of like how confident is this claim. And that will give you more insight into what you can automatically approve with high confidence or still continue to have the approvals through the normal. But basically, how do we make this easier? AI is removing tasks of manual data entry. And so this is something that we are, again, in the process of building now and will be available this year. And then AnsiraX, we talked a lot about the local activation. And so for Ansira, Attract, we want to empower users to use marketing tactics. So one thing that we're integrating into NextGen is our social media solution, so for organic social. So some of you might be using this currently on Sprout Loud. We are bringing this into NextGen and making it a core part of our platform. And we're also expanding on what the offering is. So we're enhancing the support for Reels. We are supporting multiple images, email notifications, as well as single channel restrictions. So again, this is an area that we're going to invest in and continue to ensure that we're meeting the needs of our customers. So this is, again, just a sneak peek of the things that we've been working on this quarter, so you can get kind of a taste for what's to come. We're going to continue to talk to all of you. We're going to continue to talk to our teams and be transparent in the process of the upgrades. Make sure people understand the direction that we're going. We want to make you guys feel like you're part of the journey and get excited about what we have to offer. So we'll work really closely with our CP teams to make sure that you hear and learn about new things that are being advanced in NextGen.